So that pretty much sums up this slide. Moving on. The hardships that radio faced. In order for Radio to become accepted into community, he was first bullied. He was bullied by his teammates, he was disliked by the parents, he was pitied, and he was seen as somebody less. This movie clip will demonstrate that. I wish I could show you more movie clips, but in essence of time, this is one that I found very important and kind of critical to what Radio came in contact with while at the school.
Radio! Adam! Oh, man! Adam. Hey, where's Honeycutt at, man? Where's Honeycutt, you around? No, he gone. He's gone. All right. Hey, check it out. Dowler's got a couple things next door she wants you to come get. Huh? Mrs. Dowler. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. She's her. She's alone. Girls are gone. I can't do that. All right. But she's going to be real disappointed. I want to let her down, I do. She's seeing you. Okay. Okay. No. Sorry. No.
So the first victim, Alice Whitlock, raped and murdered. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the back of the spine. She was found completely ruined in her own.
So that just gives a demonstration as to some of the things that Radio experienced when he was bullied at the school. Radio was a bright individual, and he knew what was right from wrong. However, he didn't want to let anyone down. That is how he was manipulated into this situation. This situation resolved when Coach Jones did not allow the student to play in the game. Being the athletic director, he had the power to do so and was supported by the principal. The coach didn't observe what happened during the situation. It was reported to him. He later questioned Radio, who put him up to going into the girls' locker room. Radio would not divulge to the coach who did it. The student was quick to point a finger when confronted that Radio ratted on him, and the coach set him straight, saying that Radio wouldn't tell on him. His other teammates actually did. And this was a reality check for the student, showing that Radio was understanding of things going on around him, and he wanted relationships and not to jeopardize them. This is a key point, though, because the players ratted on him because they knew that it was wrong. So I found another article that linked to individuals with intellectual disabilities getting bullied. Individuals with intellectual disabilities are among the highest risk for victimization and oftentimes lack the resources to cope with it. That being said, when an individual with an intellectual disability gets bullied, they might not understand exactly what's going on, or they do when they feel that that's just a normal way for them to be treated. They're also bullied because of disableism and needing extra help. It's unclear if a student with an intellectual disability is affected differently than a typical peer by being bullied. It's thought that due to their disability, they don't understand the victimization that they are facing. However, regardless of who is getting bullied, it oftentimes increases depression and anxiety, which is important to note, just because individuals with disabilities sometimes have difficulty expressing their emotions than their typical peers. So this does cause a little bit of trouble when you have a harder time communicating with these individuals. A quote from the article: "The limited investigations generally suggest that children with disabilities experience elevated results of victimization, with some studies reporting rates as high as 3 or 4 times that of children without disabilities." I found that statistic shocking because the world we live in right now, I feel like there's more inclusion and people do understand, but I also work in an entirely special needs school, so I'm a little bit sheltered in comparison to public school. Radio was... So this is Radio doing what he did best. Radio came a long way from when he first met Coach Jones. He would not say a word, and now he's saying hi to people in the hallway, making announcements, being a hall monitor, and just being a friendly face to his classmates. Coach Jones took the time to get to know Radio and how great of an individual he was. He wanted others to see Radio the way that he did. And this is how Radio made people laugh and smile with his personality.
Radio. Where's my Huge cats running in the hall this week. Vincent! Swear, you have turned out to be quite the hall monitor. Morning, Hattie. It's Radio. Yeah, run you in. Stop at day. Oh, I know. We got back on beat. The high road.
So that's just some positive light shed on the negatives of the movie. But you could see the individuals smiling and laughing as Radio has come so far, and they've all grown to love him. Radio came along. So the media's impact on society's perceptions and assumptions. So society's assumptions based on this movie. People are often fearful or avoidant of individuals that are different from them, such as individuals with disabilities. Individuals with disabilities cannot participate in the same activities that their typical peers would. Radio, having an intellectual disability, would not know right from wrong. Individuals with disabilities are unsafe. Individuals with disabilities are a distraction, and individuals with disabilities should be kept away from their typical peers. In the movie, this movie started off difficult to watch, seeing Radio be bullied and made fun of for who he was. However, it soon took a turn when Coach Jones took an interest in Radio. He saw that Radio did not have anything to do at the time practice was occurring. He then invited Radio to come and help the team out. This began the start of the relationship with not only Coach Jones, but the entire team, then the school, and then the community. Coach Jones advocated for Radio all throughout the movie to ensure that he was living a life that he was happy with and doing something he could enjoy every day. Radio could participate in activities and events that his peers were, and he should. Radio attended school, and Radio had friends all throughout the school. So Radio's participation within the school and extracurricular activities was phenomenal. That came a long way, and that was with the help of Coach Jones. Individuals with intellectual disabilities and those without all want a sense of belonging. This was shown in the Shields King Corbett and Ames video article. It showed that by students not participating in activities or few activities, it encouraged social isolation. Participation in extracurricular activities increases social skills. That was shown by Radio in this film. In the beginning of the movie, when he was isolated, he only spoke a few words, if he said any. And by the end of the film, when he was participating and included, he would always talk. This article also stressed the importance of physical activity for health of an individual with a disability, but Radio was walking and always on the move, so he tended to be a little bit more healthier. However, you can see if you choose to watch the film, he's generally not eating the best diet, so that's something else to look out for. But a few quotes that I found important were children with intellectual disabilities, social activities can facilitate friendships and integration into community settings. Participation in activities outside of school is important for a child's health and positively influences their self-esteem, psychological well-being, social competence, physical fitness, and gross motor skills. Given that children with intellectual disabilities are at risk of chronic health conditions such as obesity and social isolation, it might be especially important for them to participate in activities outside of school. So the result of Coach Jones advocating for Radio. He participated as an assistant coach for both basketball and football. He was a friend and teammate to all those that entered his life. He was a graduate of Hannah High School and an honorary 11th grade student. the practical implications of this. The assumptions that were made by the people